If you can't breathe while mewing, keep on watching because I'll reveal the secret of how to breathe effortlessly while fully engaging the tongue while mewing. We'll go through common mistakes that make breathing while mewing impossible, and I will show you the most effective exercise to do during the day in order to make sure you're doing it correctly. So most people are talking about mewing from the end, like how it's supposed to be once you already have the perfect facial structure, the perfect posture that supports and allows you to manipulate each part of the tongue the way that you want to. But in the very start and even sometime after the start, you'll not be able to do it. And I want you to know that first of all, it's normal. So let's say you're mewing right now, or you're trying to engage the far back of the tongue by swallowing a couple of times, and when you push that back part of the tongue, you simply block the airways, so you can either mew correctly and not breathe, or only push the front part of the tongue up and be able to breathe. So this is so confusing that even some creators of mewing like Dr. Mike and John had a discussion and disagreement with what is even third back of the tongue and why some people can breathe while following the instructions and some can't. So as someone who was in the same position as you right now, I wasn't able to breathe while fully maintaining the proper posture. I found that the key is pushing the tongue up right to the edge of not being able to breathe. So but still being able to breathe, right? So when you push the back of the tongue up and you can't breathe, that means you're pushing the tongue too far back and you're doing it too early in this process. That's why some people give up on mewing, thinking that they're not able to do it and that it's over for them, but it's not over. It's basically important to engage the back of the tongue, but if you can't breathe while doing it, that's a great indicator that you're not meant to do that now. So you have to do it to the best of your current ability. Improve your palate and airways and then get the results in the process of that. But don't take my words for it, I can back it up, because having that mindset, I got these results in just 6 months. So you can't do something that your structure doesn't allow you to do yet. You'll be able to engage back of the tongue more after a while, just like I can do it now, but then I couldn't. I still kept it up as much as possible, as far back as possible, while still having the ability to breathe. So that raises a question of how come that some people struggle with breathing while mewing and some don't. I found it has a lot to do with a couple of things. First being the size of the palate, and then I think this is probably the main cause for most people, not having good neck posture, which then reflects on the airways, like the way air flows in and out. Basically oral and body posture are tightly connected, but it's whole another story. What's important now is that you realize the importance of doing it to the best of your current ability while fixing the cause of the issue at the same time. And while narrow palate will widen with time, neck posture is one thing that needs active attention and work. So exercises like chin tuck will straighten the neck and provide more space for the back of the tongue. But firstly, it's needed to gain a full control and a feeling of that part of the tongue. So the best exercise for that is hyoid drop or hyoid push, in which you pretty much push the back of the tongue down as if you're trying to yawn while still keeping mouth closed, and then right after that you swallow while pushing the tongue on the upper palate, specifically focusing on closing the throat or contracting those muscles. And then you go between those two states and exaggerate each as much as you can. So you can do that every time you lose the feeling of mewing or you're not sure if you're doing it the right way. While I agree that the back third of the tongue should be engaged in the process, I don't think it's necessary or even possible for some people to accomplish it in the very beginning of this journey. And if you need more help or guidance, feel free to reach out. Also, feel free to send me your transformations, progress pictures, and suggestions on what you want me to film next.